Hi, welcome to JJ's Productions. We've got another Stoke City Vlogcast. With me as always is Jan. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thanks, son. Hi everyone, I hope you're all okay. I'd just like to start by saying I didn't listen to the match last night. I wasn't expecting a good outcome, and rather than get depressed, I decided not to listen to it. So Josh is going to do most of the talking again.
I'll put it like this, I'm hoping Mum will ask the questions as well, but it's a case of, I can understand your thinking there. I mean, it was such a... It feels like the game stabbed us in the gut, in the sense that, it gave us hope and then stole it away. So, I said it at the time, because I did a live stream last night during the game, and it was the idea of any Stoke supporters who wanted to pop along could talk while the game was on. And the impression I got was that the first half, we were in quite comfortable control. We got the 2 goals through Tyrese Campbell, who I'm coming on into a moment. And second half, we started okay, not brilliant, but okay. And then 70-minute mark, even by Nathan Jones' own admission, we just lost all composure. It's as if the fitness of a few of the players who haven't been playing regularly went. The rookie in the team, if you like, and Josh Timon, he just had a defensive lapse and let Shrewsbury in for their first, and then the penalty went against us. It was a lazy leg by Clucas, and the one for the winner, it just seems like Williams and Martins Indy didn't pick up the man, from what I've heard anyway. So
Right, I'm going to start anyway by just asking questions for me, really.
Yeah.
And for you, all listening. But what did you think about how they started? Did they do the 18 minutes where they couldn't be bothered, or...?
I would actually say it was the reverse. We actually started like a house on fire and then capitulated.
Oh.
Which the scoreline suggests, really, but I think we actually did come out well, which is a rarity for Stoke. So give Nathan Jones credit there. He somehow got them going fast.
Yeah.
If anything, I think the 2 goals from Tyrese sort of set the mood, in the sense that at 2-0 I thought we were more likely to get a third or a fourth. That's where my mindset was coming on to half time. And to concede the goals we did in the second half, it's actually quite surprising.
Right, I saw the team line up, and I was shocked, to say the least, at some of the ones that were included. Charlie Adam.
I think behind Tyrese, he'd be the man of the match, just in the sense that he was spraying balls about quite well. He made a few good tackles, especially in the first half. I think, like Bauer, he tired in the second half. I think there's been a general consensus he should have been substituted 10 minutes before he was. But again, I think that might just be Nathan Jones working out how to handle the squad, combined with maybe Charlie being rusty. But yeah, he had a very good game by his own standards. Some people have played it down by saying it was against Shrewsbury, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was involved against Leeds, how he played.
Yeah. And what about the youngsters?
I can't give Tyrese Campbell enough praise. He did fantastic to get his 2 goals. I think he was the one hope, even until he was substituted. And I think when he came off for, if I'm right, it was McLean, the whole game changed, because I think everyone sort of looked at the squad then and thought, who's scoring the goals here?
Yeah.
So I think that was a bad move from Jones. It's not necessarily that bad. I don't want to sound like I'm picking on him already, but we went from what was Jones's preferred shape with the diamond and went 4-3-3, and the whole thing changed. Plus, McLean came on and actually had a bad game. I think it was probably the worst cameo of the season.
What about Campbell playing on Saturday?
I'd start him, no doubt. I mean, he's doing more than a Phobia or Berahino at the current rate. Yeah. So, I'd give him a start. I think maybe start a Phobia with him just because he's the more muscular of the 2. But if Berahino started with Campbell, I wouldn't complain.
What about Jack Bauer, as I call him?
Both him and Josh Timon on the other full-back position, they both got forward well from what I heard, and they did seem to be involved in passing moves a lot, but from what I've heard on Twitter, those who were at the game, he seemed to cut back a lot, so he'd get into a position where he could cross a ball in or try and take on a man, and instead he'd pass square and just try and keep the ball. So that could be rustiness, or it could be poor decision making, and apparently he didn't do himself well for their goals, so it's a little bit iffy in regards to Bauer's first game and re-involvement.
Yeah. Right, go on to the second half.
Okay.
And the disaster that unfolded. Talk me through it, what you think.
It's strange because at 2-0 I was feeling quite comfortable, even, up until the goal. I was thinking, you know what, we'll just ride the wave, as it were. And then that first goal, you sort of knew something was going to happen. I hoped it wouldn't, but you're listening and you're thinking, you know what, we've been rocked here. And as I say, James McLean came on. He had a chance at 2-1 to put us 3-1 up, and I don't know exactly, but he didn't take it. And after that, there just wasn't a chance of note for us. You just could see the heads drop even without actually seeing it, and it's disheartening.
What was the reaction on Twitter?
Bin the squad. Get everyone out bar Campbell.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm saying that Charlie Adam had a good game, but he's included because of his age.
Yeah.
And this is the problem facing Nathan Jones, that there's so many players who just don't fit the criteria of what he wants and what the fans know we need.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There's no one really coming away from that game without criticism, bar Campbell.
How did the goalie do? I know they scored 3, but was he at fault?
I don't believe he was at fault. There was a penalty, so obviously he could have saved it, but yeah, I don't think there was anything majorly to be criticised with Federici. I'm not a fan of him, I'll admit, but in the second half there was a scare where the commentator was describing that it was either Federici or Martins Indy who was injured and might have to come off. And I was thinking, please be Martins Indy, because if Federici came off, we got Hogard on the bench. So that sort of sums up where he is. He's not my first choice by any stretch, but I'd rather him in the team than Hogard. So, yeah.
Well, all I've got to say on the matter is, well done, Shrewsbury.
Yeah, we had a comment on the live stream after the live stream, and I did have to delete it because there was some foul language. But I do compliment Shrewsbury. The stream I did yesterday, the title was, "Can we beat Shrewsbury Town?" And the answer was definitively, no, we can't. So I have to praise them like I did in the last game.
Well, can I be honest? In my little head up here, I went for 3-1 to Shrewsbury.
Yeah, so you're only a goal out.
Yeah. I just couldn't see him winning it.
I would just like praise Anthony Grant as well, and this isn't necessarily something I'm comfortable about, because if I'm right, he used to play for Port Vale, but he did have a good game. From the first minutes he was trying to get his foot in and get on the ball, and I don't think he was the one who was sort of, I wouldn't picture him as the driving force of the team, but he was there, and every time I heard Shrewsbury doing something, he seemed to be involved. So it wasn't the key player as such, but he's the one who really struck me. So, as far as players go for Shrewsbury, Anthony Grant, well done. You seem to leave a mark on the game as far as I was concerned.
Are you happy to move on to Leeds?
Yeah, let's move on, because, we can talk about this for ages, but the fact of the matter is it was a bad result.
Yeah.
Once shining like Tyrese Campbell.
I think now the aim is to concentrate on the league. We haven't got any cups to distract us at all. We can just have a week of training. Well, 6 days I would make it training.
Yeah.
And let's try and do well in the league.
Well, the way I'm looking at it is there is also, if I'm right, a free weekend where we would have played in the Cup.
Yeah.
Might be mistaken with it being the Championship. But if that's the case, that's another chance for Nathan Jones to actually work with the squad and try and get them used to playing how he wants them to.
I would definitely get them training for 6 days. They did in the old days.
Yeah, I'm actually beginning to become of that mindset, because there's been a bit of a funny soundbite from Nathan Jones' post-match conference where he said he doesn't feel like some of the players are up to match fitness. And it's easily pointing the finger at Bauer, Adam and co were sort of excluded from the first 11 under Rowett. But it's a recurring theme amongst Stoke players that they aren't fit. And, I think it's become overgeneralised since Jones said what he did. But equally, it does make me wonder if coming in for more sessions, even just for a short period, doing double sessions, which is something that I think Louis van Gaal used to do at United. Again, I'm just going from where I hear him. But, just the idea of actually getting more training sessions into the team, even if it means they're actually training more, maybe they're enjoying the job less. I don't think they've actually earned the right now to enjoy the job.
No, I don't.
So maybe they need to put more work in.
I honestly think they should be punished.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand if Jones wants to come in and try and be the nice guy to try and get everyone on side, but I think there's also a point when he might have to think, you know what, I've got to work with these. I've got to try and get them into some shape to survive relegation, because I think there is a consensus that we need 10 points between now and the end of the season to avoid the drop.
Yeah.
And
how we play now, it could be easily done that to go down.
That's the key thing for me, avoid relegation, because it sounds so silly when we were talking about playoffs, even top 2 at the start of the season, but we just want to avoid being a Sunderland. So even Wolves, they've done it in the past, gone from Premier League to League One in 2 seasons. So, it's got to be the priority. And
well, something has got to happen, because at the minute they're chronic.
Yeah, I mean,
and they wouldn't stand a hope in hell's chance in the Premiership at the minute.
That first half yesterday gave me hope we could do it. We could start getting points on the board. We could start playing well. But we've got to get reinforcements in.
He's got to start buying.
So let's just get on to Leeds in specific, because you've got your stats, but I am curious what we've coming up against, because everyone is, to put it mildly, they're scared of the game. So let's,
Right. Well, they've won 16, they've drawn 6, and they've lost 5, which is pretty damn good. The top scorers are Roof with 14, and
let's have a look.
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Oh, was that Hernandez?
Yeah, Pablo Hernandez.
Sorry.
Can't read your handwriting.
I can't. That was with 7 anyway. Now, I'm finding this stat very hard to believe with yellow cards. 48.
Yeah.
And 2 red.
I mean, we've had to go somewhere else for the stats this time. It's Sky Sports News, but, it's a case of, it's not usually where we get them. But, it seems a high number.
48?
I mean, if I read right, Kemar Roof's got 5.
Yeah.
Was it Barry Douglas has got 6 alongside 2 others on 6?
Yeah.
So it's not hard to believe that they've, spread the cards out, but, yeah, it's quite disconcerting.
Well, with 14 goals, Roof is the man to watch. And I can't say it.
Pablo Hernandez.
They're the 2 to watch, and they've got to be marked so tightly, because they're that quick again away. Then Stoke again have Bob hope of doing anything to stop them.
Well, let's just get on to the actual match itself, and I can't be the only Stoke supporter who's still having nightmares about the opening day of the season. I mean, I'll admit it was a different manager, a different team in a way, because you'd still got likes of Badu and Dye involved, but they ran circles around us.
Oh, they did.
And the worrying thing is, I've said that Charlie Adam could be involved based on his performance against Shrewsbury, but I can't say I haven't liked the idea of Charlie Adam being in that midfield. I'm not discrediting him for his performance, but it's like he isn't the most mobile of midfielders.
The only thing I'm thinking is that if we play Charlie Adam, he isn't frightened of going in for a ball. Okay, he'll get booked, but,
He did pick up a booking yesterday, by the way.
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me.
He's a safe bet, is Charlie.
And also McLean, because he's a bruiser.
Yeah.
And I think with Leeds, this is what you need. You need somebody who will match up to them, really.
I mean, I think McLean's a very odd player for the current squad in that he's very much a wide man. Even if he isn't confident or competent or whatever word you want to describe it, he is a wide man. So he doesn't fit in the shape that Jones wants to play. And he's been involved in the previous 2 games when we've reverted to a 4-3-3 or 4-4-2. And for that reason, I wouldn't pick him in the squad, for the simple reason he's an option that changes the shape. So
we don't want any shrinking violets, though, do we?
No, I mean, if Bojan's available, I think he'd have to take McLean's place on the bench, as it were, and just be the sub option, because I think bringing McLean on, not necessarily because of the level of player he is. Like, you know, I know some people say he's not fit to wear the shirt and all this sort of stuff, but it's not necessarily for that reason I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
It's more because he doesn't fit the style we're trying to play.
No, I would never say his name in any other match.
I know where you're coming from. I definitely think there's room for bruisers, and for that reason I think the likes of Klukas could get in.
Yeah.
You know, he's tough, he's athletic, so he should be a good option. Allen's pretty much a cert to start, so is Woods. So after that, it's a case of, do you want to have one more midfielder of that sort in the centre with Etebo, which is a lot, or do you want to have a more attacker like Tom Ince or even Bojan?
I mean, the defence, I definitely don't think Ryan should be on the pitch. Unfortunately.
I think this is the problem, in that Williams and Martins Indy didn't cement the partnership yesterday. If we'd won 2-0, I think they would have started against Leeds. Yeah. But I think because they capitulated, or part of the capitulation, that Ryan will probably work his way back in.
But he's got to be strong, and he hasn't got to have his head hanging down and his shoulders dropping. He's got to be the old Ryan, or else we're stuffed.
I think this is what I would say. If I know Ryan Shawcross doesn't listen to this, to be honest, how many views we get, I know not a lot of people listen to this, but if there was ever a time that someone could get a message to Ryan Shawcross, it would be this. If you were on that pitch on Saturday, if we go a goal down, rally the troops.
Yeah.
Just don't back, get your head down, keep going.
If they go 1-0 down, they need somebody on that pitch that says, move.
Because this is the thing. If Ryan leads the troops and at least tries to inspire a comeback, even from the back, in the sense of, right, I'm not going to concede another knock goal, I'm going to try and get this back line working as a unit. Yeah. If he can at least show that he's trying to be the leader in that back four, no matter what personal performance he's putting in, the fans will be behind him 110%. But if he's the shrinking violet, if he's hiding, if he's bowing his head when we go a goal down, that's when they get on him. Yeah. And I include myself in that, unfortunately, because I love Ryan to bits. I say it every time we criticise him because I don't want it to be personal. But there's a point when you've got to stand up, and he is overdue a performance where he stands up and says, I am the leader of this group.
Yeah, he has. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Ryan.
I won't be coming back in the next video and saying what a performance from him.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. But and I'm sure we will go a goal down. I'm crossing my fingers, I'm crossing my heart here. I'm doing everything crossed that they don't go a goal in front. But if we do, and Ryan's on, he has got to perk them players up. And to be honest, they've got to get the bloody finger out.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
It's got to be Ryan's priority on Saturday, that if we go a goal down, he's got to make sure that the rot stops. Yeah. If anything, this is where professional pride has got to kick in. Not just him, but he's the leader. He has got to start the rally.
Yeah. I mean, Jones can't do anything sitting there, so it's got to be the captain. And if Ryan isn't prepared to do that, then they've got Gerard Gorbisod. Sorry.
Yeah.
That will do it.
Because this is where the likes of Glenn Wheel and John Walters always used to step in. They were the talkers. They were the ones who'd probably be clapping their hands and saying, come on, we'll get another one. Whereas, you know, and I know Ryan's natural game isn't that, and I'm not trying to say he always has to do this, but we're in a bad spot. He has got to start at least showing that he can do that.
We've got to get out of this rut, or else we'll be down into League One.
Yeah.
And I can't even visualise that.
The only good thing about going into League One, which I'm not even really entertaining, but if you wanted to just talk about the Sunderland impact, it's the fact that maybe we could get the high earners off the books. You know, you've seen the likes of Papagio, Bodgie and all them lot going from Sunderland. You think, right, that's the only good thing, get them out.
But I don't want to go there.
Oh no, I'm not even.
You know,
literally, that was just the first thought in my head. But
all I want is to get players in who can do a job for us and be counted. because none of the Stoke team at the minute can be counted.
If you're a Stoke supporter listening, what I would like at this point is for you to just pause the video and leave a comment in the comments section, writing down anyone you think we could sign at centre-half this window, because I don't know about you, but centre-half has got to be the priority. So tell me your thoughts on who we should sign, whether it's realistic or maybe more hopeful. And I'm not talking about going for Gerard Piqué or weird centre-half signings, you know.
Why not?
I'm just saying, like, you know, there's got to be a realistic name amongst them. I mean, I've mentioned on Twitter Tyrone Mings. He's a left-back who can play centre-half. Is there anything more in that vein that I haven't thought of, or you haven't?
We need a Jeff Campbell. What's his name, Campbell? Cameron. Jeff Cameron, where he could play in defence. Well, he could play anywhere they put him, really. But we need someone like him, but mainly a defender.
Yeah. Put it like this, if you've got a name in mind, and I think Mum's just sparked a little wildfire there because Jeff is technically on the books.
Is he still with us?
He is on loan at QPR.
Oh, well, we'll get him back.
He wanted to go. He didn't want playing for us anymore.
No, I know.
So, if any of you got any names, just shout them out. And if anything, I'm just curious what the collective Stoke group that watches this might come up with. So, fingers crossed we'll get a good name. But just moving on to Leeds for a minute, as far as the style of play, I must admit, when we did the first episode, I was really cautious about how we were going to come across them, in the sense that Marcelo Bielsa was quite an unknown, and he's done quite well. I mean, it's actually impressed me how they've managed to maintain the form into Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, to me, when we played them, I just think Stoke, and I've said it before, I'm repeating myself, Stoke thought they were going to go there and thrash them.
Yeah, I think there was way too much complacency, and it's something that's still in the squad. But for every ounce of complacency that we showed, Leeds were as ruthless.
Oh, they were ruthless.
I mean, put it like this, they could have scored a ton more, and that it's ironic I'm using the word ruthless, because they could have been more.
They could have been 6-7 at least.
So,
but they played well.
And
couldn't take it away from them.
You have to praise them from there, because they've maintained it for the majority of the season. They've had little blips, but there's been no real, wow, I can't believe they've lost 2 or 3 on the bounce. You know, there's not been a real blip.
But when you think out of 27, they've only lost 5. That's good going, that.
I might as well ask you, just while it's, because it is in the news of sorts at the moment, what do you think about the idea of Leeds sending a spy to look at the Stoke training ground? You know, repeating the Derby incident.
Well, I wouldn't bother. I just wouldn't bother.
I've got to admit, if you needed someone look at ours, it's a bit pathetic, isn't it?
And I'm sure I've read that there's no use sending a spy to Stoke, because we know they're rubbish anyway.
Exactly. It's
and
it's
do
laughable.
We want that reputation?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, to be honest, it's the fans being self-effacing, but it's bad that we're in this much of a doldrum, that we're willing to actually take the mick out of Leeds, but and take the mick out of ourselves at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, what we want is somebody like Roof. I mean, 14 goals.
I thought Defoe would be like that, I must admit.
Yeah.
You know, especially how he started the season, I thought he'd get... I thought by now he'd be in double figures at least.
What's he on, 7?
6 or 7. I think
he's 7, isn't he?
The goal at Brentford I haven't added to my tally, so I'm a little bit confused. But yeah, he's not done as well as he could have.
No, but they've certainly got to improve.
I mean, Tom Ince has gone off the ball as well.
Yeah, what's happened to him?
Well, he wasn't doing well at the end under Rowett, but he's struggling to adapt to the number 10 spot, as it might be called, in the diamond shape for Jones. So, whereas Ince was maybe the bright spark, he's really gone dim at the moment.
Yeah.
So, it's so awkward picking a star man for Stoke right now.
I can't.
Yeah, I mean...
Usually I would have said Jack.
Yeah.
But I can't even say Jack.
It's going to be an interesting end to the season, because every player is up in the shop window, and we've talked about Jack. I can imagine Leeds going for him and having him competing with Kiko Casilla, who's likely to come in the summer.
Yeah.
The irony being, if they do that, maybe we could ask for their current number 1, Bailey Peacock Farrell, in exchange.
Yeah.
You know, it's all hypothetical that, but you know, I could actually see something like that happening where they take our number one and we take their former number one.
Well, I've come to the realisation that Jack is going to go. I
Yeah.
mean, in my own heart of hearts, I was hoping he wouldn't, but I think it's 100% certain now.
Yeah, I mean, some people have said that he might get moved to Arsenal, and I'm doubtful of that.
No, I don't think he will.
So we've got 30 seconds or less. What are your predictions?
You're not going like this, folks, and this isn't me. You know me by now. I'm going for Stoke 1, Leeds 5.
Wowza. Well, people who know me will be surprised by this one. I'm going to go Stoke 1, Leeds 0. I'm going to go for a shock result.
You're going for mine, aren't you?
Yeah. So
you know that isn't me, so I apologise.
yeah, and I'm sorry if I put the mockers on it. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye for now, folks.
Bye. See ya.